Today, I'm going to talk about the current state of the market and how I easily made 150 million coins in the past few days. So the market has seen a lot of movement over the past few days with the introduction of the new Rivals cards, the Rivals icons, and Team 2 of Rule Breakers. We'll get into the pricing of these cards in a second, but the cards that were affected the most were the cards that were previously the meta and were the highest rated or considered the best in their position. Now, some of these cards have retained that spot. They are still the best striker in the game or best center mid in the game, but other cards were outdated, and because of that, prices have shifted. Not only that though, we did have a huge thing that happened yesterday, which was the Mystery Signings event. Some people who were able to claim this Mystery Signings reward here were then able to claim the Milestone reward that gives you, in this case, a free tradable 90 rated card, which means that people like Hullet were affected, some of the UCL cards were affected, but that was just one of them. People could also choose a 91 rated card and a 92. Now my guess is people either chose a tradable 90, because there's quite a few expensive 90 rated cards, or the untradable 92, which still affected the price of the cards on the market because it meant less people were going to buy some of these cards because they already packed them, or if people packed a duplicate card, they were selling off their duplicate. And it was really apparent in the market. A great example was Hullet. He had worked his way back up to 35 million coins yesterday after being down at about 31, and then when the new rewards came out, he's dropped down to 30. Now, I personally still think he's worth more than 30 million coins. I still think over the next few days, he'll go back up to 35, 40, but you could see that his card took a huge hit. And another example is Maldini. Maldini worked his way back up to 34-ish million coins, then he got shot right back down to 30. Now, those rewards were going to have a short-term effect on the price of 90 to 92 rated cards, but like I said, in a few days' time, these cards should go back up in value. Another player who's one of the best in his position is 93 Mbappe. He's still at that 66 million, hasn't moved too much, and R9 is at 60 as well. He hasn't moved too much since yesterday. The rest of the high-rated cards like Bellingham, Holland, Oblak, Mateus, they're about where they were a day or two ago. Now, I think the reason for this is because when we get a new event this year, like we did on Wednesday, especially a really big event, we usually have a 2 to 3, maybe 4-day period where all the cards that were out before that event tend to hover around a price that's just a little bit lower than they were before the event came out. And I think that's because people are seeing if those players are still some of the best in their position. Some people also have now changed their coins over to other players in the game. And then I think there's also a group of people who sold off their entire team and they're waiting to see if the market goes down even further. So we don't end up seeing tons of buying demand. Usually it's a lot of supply. Where we do see all the coins go is to the new players. So Darwin Nunez is now up to almost 70. We have Sterling up to almost 80. Declan Rice is down to 70 now. He's starting to correct a little bit. Pedri almost 80. All of these cards here are going for quite a bit. Of course, Puskas hasn't moved. Seems like 105 million is the cap for a base card. Same thing with Salah. Well, 104 technically. We got Modric, exact same thing. So all these cards are going for tons of coins. Now, are these price tags really warranted? Like I said in my video the other day, no, I don't think so. Usually with these events, we got, like I said, 2 to 4 days of the prices of these cards just keep creeping up and creeping up. And then eventually, when people figure out who are the good cards and who are just overpriced or overvalued, that's when the prices start to sort themselves out. For example, Declan Rice, I know he's 94 rated, but his stats aren't impressive. So in my opinion, I don't think he's a 70 million coin card when 95 Pele is like 65 right now, right? Like we have to do comparisons like that. Is Declan Rice worth that value compared to other players for less coins? I know they're not even in the same position. But if we compare him to Lothar Matthäus down here, who's currently at 35 million, stat-wise, they're not even close. And as a matter of fact, you could buy a ranked up Matthäus 94 and 95 for cheaper than Declan Rice, and he'll have better stats. So this is a great example, in my opinion, of a card that I think is going to crash down to, I don't know, let's say 30, 40 million. I don't think he's keeping at the 70. But on the other hand, we do have Hernandez, who is probably going to be the best left back in the game. I mean, stat-wise, he is incredible. He currently has tons of demand at 80 million. Do I think he's going to stay at 80? Not necessarily, but I don't think he's ever going to drop down below, let's say, 60 to 70. So regardless, he's pretty close to where I think his final price will be. Another player that's similar is Valverde. His stats are incredible. It's probably him and Hullet as the top 2 centimids right now. And although he's going for 66, I don't think he's ever going to drop below, let's say, 50. And I know that's still a 20 million coin difference between him and Hullet, But because he's a 93 rated card, that's going to mean a lot for the people who do Verse Attack and Manager mode. So with that being said, if you're someone who's looking to pick up some of these new players, I'd wait for another 2 to 3 days to see how the prices shake out. Even then, it might take a week for these guys to hit their actual price ranges. And when that ends up happening, what's also going to happen is these players here that are still some of the best in their position or the best in their position are going to go up in value, because people will be shifting their coins from the players that they were trying out and the players that they thought would be better back to the players that are actually better in game, which will end up being the Hullet, Maldini, R9, Mbappe, Lev Yashin as a goalkeeper, Oblak, guys like that. And if you agree with that concept, then if you pack any of these high-rated players that you don't think are worth the coins that they currently go for, just sell them off and buy players that you think are really good in their position. It doesn't have to be these 3 guys. It could be anybody that you think is the best in their position. But that's where the market is at. I'm not taking a look at any of the lower rated cards like 89 and below, because soon enough we're going to shift to almost everybody having 90 plus rated teams, so I don't see much of a point in that. But with that being said, let's now move over to the easy coins that I recently made. So the first thing to talk about is the other day in my pack opening I got Courtois. He's 92 rated, and I looked at his stats. They were better than the Oblak I had, so I ended up selling off my Oblak for 40 million coins, as you can see here, and tried out Courtois. Now, while he is really good in game and his price reflects it, I did see the opportunity to rank him up and sell him for a ton of coins, because I don't think this price is going to hold that much longer. I could be wrong, but I think when EA starts to update the price ranges of these higher ranked up players, I do think he's going to drop below 100 million. So I took the opportunity. I could have sold him for 109 yesterday, but I waited till this morning to do it. So 103, still that's 92.7 million, and it's essentially free because I got him in a pack, and I used 4 free Mascherano's. So unfortunately my PC ran out of space and my recording software stopped recording without me realizing, so the transfer list is cleared, but I will explain what was on it. So the other investment that I made was into 84 rated players for the new exchanges for the new Rivals event. The 88 to 91 rated exchange requires 84 plus rated attackers, midfielders, and defenders. So what I did was a few days ago before the exchanges came out, I bought 25 Mats Hummels for 214,000 and sold all 25 for 321, meaning I made almost 2 million coins profit. As you can see, he's more coins now, but I wanted to lock in my profit then. Now another card I invested in was Saul, and I went pretty all in. I bought 203 copies at 214,000 coins apiece, and for him I used a trading method to increase the amount of coins I could make from him while also reducing risk. So what I did was I sold 103 copies about 16 hours after the exchanges came out at 353,000 coins. I then waited about another 6 hours and sold the final 100 copies at 386,000 coins, meaning in total I made 24 million coins off of this one card alone. So that was great profit, but it was nowhere near the best performing card. The best one I had was I bought 25 copies of Joselu here. I really wish I bought like 100, but I bought 25 at 816,000 coins, and I sold all 25 yesterday at 1.29 million, meaning I made 8.5 million coins profit. Now across those 3 cards, I did invest a total of 69 million coins, and I made 34.4 million coins profit, meaning that was about a 50% return. And with those 3 cards, with the Donnarumma and other cards I packed the other day, it's been the easiest 150 million coins or so I've ever made on this game. I did go and reward myself, and I ended up picking up a Pele for 65 million. He's currently at probably 65, 70, but he is the king of football. I wanted to get him in my team at some point. Unfortunately, he's a center forward, so I'm going to have to either rank him up and move him to cam or striker, or I might just play him out of position at a lower rating. I haven't decided yet, but I'm very excited to try him out. He is, like I said, the king, 95 pace, 92 shooting, 95 dribbling, and that is just his base stats. I also picked up 2 more Hullets at 30 million coins, so now I'm invested into 5, and I'm going to look to sell them around 35 to 40. But with that being said, that's all for today's video. Keep an eye out for tonight, because we could be getting another round of Black Friday packs. We don't know yet. We'll have to see, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace.